So yesterday a gentleman brought in this Milwaukee M18 work radio for repair, and his complaint was that the battery part of it still worked, but the AC was no longer working. He wanted to know if I could figure it out. Well, knowing that the battery works, that's a good sign. That tells me that it's got to be a power supply problem. Either the power supply is not putting out the necessary voltage, or there's a break between the power supply and the radio. Anyway, this is a popular radio because it'll handle the same battery that goes in your drills, so a lot of construction workers like these. And you know, normally when I make a video I don't go into explaining where all the screws are you got to pull apart, but in this case I think I better do so because there's so many screws you're going to have to pull out to get to the inside of this thing. I'm just going to go over it briefly. The screwdrivers you'll need is a Torx T10, T20, and a snub nose Phillips screwdriver. And you may have to make your own screwdriver in this case. I know that sounds weird, but there's some holes on this radio that are so deep I couldn't reach the screws with my screwdriver. It didn't go deep enough. So I had to take a fiberglass rod I had with a hole in it and crazy glue in one of my Torx tips to be able to get the screw out. Well, the first thing you want to do is pop off these side panels here. They only have 4 screws. And you got to take the other one off as well. And once you get these off, you're going to note that there's a screw right here that was hidden. You're going to have to pop that out, and then the one on the other side as well over here. So after you pop off those side panels, you're going to find 4 more screws inside this compartment here, holding on the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are Phillips screws, and you're going to need a little snub nose like that to be able to reach in there to pop those out. When you get those out, you're going to have to flip it over, and this is where it got a little challenging for me, where I mentioned that my screwdriver wouldn't reach far enough down in the hole. I've run into this on numerous occasions. You can see as I bottom out my screwdriver, I'm still not reaching it. That's why I had to make this funny looking thing. I'll show you how far this thing has to go before it'll reach a screw. I don't know how many inches that is, but that's a long way. So the other screws you'll have to remove. You got one here on this side, one on this side that was under that panel. You're going to have to pull out these 2 here. You got one down inside here and here. One here, one here, one there, and one there. And once you get all those screws out, the top can open up. Now this is the part you want to be kind of careful because there's a cable attached to the front of the radio here. I pulled it out ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it. But if you pull this out, oh, I guess I didn't. It's still there. There's one of my cables right there. I'm going to have to pop that out. And then we've got 3 more down here. These aren't ribbon cables, so they're not quite as fragile as the ribbon cables are, where you can easily tear them, but pop that out there and pop this out here. And there we have it. There's the front of the radio. So after you get that all apart, you look down inside here, and there's your power supply. It's a very straightforward, simple power supply. No switching regulators and all that. You've just got your transformer here to lower your 110 down to whatever voltage this uses. And here's your bridge rectifier, your 4 diodes, and your reservoir capacitor, and a couple of fuses, and it looks like another capacitor here. Anyway, as I checked the diodes here, I noticed that one of them measured 70 ohms in both directions. And that's kind of unusual. Most of the time when I find a bad diode, it's either going to be shorted with 1 ohm or less of resistance, or it's going to be open, which is not as common. But when they short, like I said, they're usually very low resistance shorts. In this case, it was 70 ohms. Anyway, I went ahead and I replaced all 4 of them just to play it safe. I figured if one of them was stressed, there's a good chance the others could be borderline, who knows. And I went ahead and replaced one of the micro fuses. Now, a lot of guys that are new to electronics might not realize fuses don't always look like the old fuses we're used to with the glass tubes. A lot of times it might look like this here, or it can be a little tiny square, or it can even look similar to a diode like this here. And bridge rectifiers, they don't always look like this. You know, a lot of people are have only seen bridge rectifiers that look like this, but in this case we're just looking at 4 diodes. That's a bridge rectifier. That's all it takes. Anyway, went ahead and replaced the diodes, put it all back together, and or rather, before I put it together, I had one last thought. What caused it to go bad in the first place? Power surge, perhaps? Well, I don't know for sure, but you know, I asked the gentleman if he did anything that might have caused it to go bad, like maybe plugged in something into this compartment here. This is a USB port. I thought maybe he plugged something in here that might have caused the radio or the power supply to draw excessive current. He said he hadn't, but maybe he did and didn't realize it. I don't know. It's hard to say. Now this thing, you can see it's taken a little abuse. There's some cracks on the plastic here. That was hidden from view because you had these panels on the side here. So, but yeah, this thing's probably taken a couple of hard blows, although I don't think that would cause the diode to go bad. I highly doubt it. These diodes are pretty rugged. Whatever the case, they're all new, replaced. In fact, I used a slightly beefier diode. Well, I say slightly beefier. I just went with a diode that had a higher peak reverse current. The replacement I used was right here, 1N5408G. The original was a 1N5401. I think that had a 200 PRV rating, where this one has 1000 PRV rating. And of course the fuse, 3.15 amp fuse. And I guess that's it. Anyway, I hope you find the video helpful. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. Let's see. Well, I got a lot of screws to put back in here, don't I? I remember years ago I was working at a TV repair shop, and one of the repairmen, he put something back together and there'd be quite a few screws left over. I remember the boss said, what's with all the extra screws? The guy said, well, those are just the extra screws they give you. Anyway, thought that was kind of funny. All right, over and out.